Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new, welcome back. If you're not, I'm going to do a little bit of an introduction about myself because I never have yet on this channel. I'm Heather Rodwell and I'm a poet and I use my intuition. I speak with my intuition in order to gain information to help you along your path and journey in life and your spiritual awakening and progress in the world. I often end up with the answers to the questions that you are seeking in your mind. You might not even say the questions and I'll have the answer. So today I want to talk to you about the way in which I do these things. I want to dazzle. I want to amaze. Not for me to be seen, but for you to see yourself. I want to be able to open you up to see aspects of yourself that you wouldn't necessarily be able to see otherwise, or you'd be overlooking these parts of yourself. I am here to remind you how divine you are and how perfectly aligned you are with life, and there's nothing in this world that is not the way it is supposed to be. This might sound like a hard pill to swallow, but fortunately and or unfortunately it is actually the truth. And this means that all the things that you have had to endure in your life and lifetimes beforehand is the process that you had to go through. And this process is a painful process, and it is because we have to feel everything on the spectrum of emotion and feeling that we can on this planet. The reason we are on this planet is literally to feel. If we weren't on this planet, we would not be third dimensional. We wouldn't be able to see, feel, touch, hear, taste. We wouldn't have our five senses. And without our five senses, we would just be astral bodies. And astral bodies have various things that they can do, yes, but we wouldn't be able to experience life and feel. And with feeling, it's the positive and the negative. So we must embrace every single aspect of ourselves. Every time we're in a moment of grief, absolutely absorb the grief, feel the grief, immerse yourself in the grief, drench yourself in the anger, absolutely 100% feel the frustrations, these negative aspects of yourself, these triggers that people are triggering you. If somebody is pushing you to be triggered into a way of reacting in an emotional response, allow this. You don't need to feel guilty about being imperfect, if you want to call it that, or falling prey to these negative aspects of self, because they are part of you. We can't have one without the other. We have to embrace every aspect. And obviously, we don't dwell in the negative aspects. We don't dwell in the griefs and the disappointments in life and the frustration, and this person said that and that person said this, and no. What we do is we feel the grief. We say, oh, this person caused me to feel like this. And then you look at it and you say, that person caused me to feel like that. Therefore, I needed to feel like that because every other person on the planet is an aspect of ourselves, and that we know for a fact. This is like obvious, So, if somebody's triggering you, it is a sign. It is acknowledged as something that you need to deal with, or get through, or feel through. And it's a beautiful thing. It may look ugly at this moment. It may look quite ugly, but it's not. It's just the way it is. It's the way life is. Yoda's saying hello. She's also agreeing. It's the way life is. I mean, if a cat scratches you, what are you going to do? Scratch the cat back? Not really. You're going to cuddle it and say, don't you scratch at me. And that's the way we're supposed to respond to people that trigger us. Because as we are an aspect of them, they are an aspect of us. So they are us looking at us in the same way, with the same confusion or desire to know or understand better this life. So if we treat everyone with humility and compassion, and we just give them the love that they need And especially when they're trying to trigger us, because then we know that they are on a healing journey and they need our help. If someone is wanting to take our power away from us by saying negative things or being bossy or abusive in any kind of way, it's because they are afraid. They're living in a state of fear. Now, when you live in a state of fear, you don't have the space to invite love in. So what we are supposed to do is to open up our compassion towards those people that live in fear, because of the fact that they are us, just on a different polarity. And once we are able to do this easily, I mean, it's not easy. It's not a piece of cake. We do have to work on ourselves. We have to work on healing ourselves and all aspects of ourselves, and bringing all aspects of our soul person back to us. And in this way, we will have the compassion to deal with people who live in fear. And the thing is, we do need to deal with the people who live in fear, because there's so many of them, and there's actually quite a few of us. Quite a few, as in like, not many. So we have a harder task, a bigger job. But that's fine, because we knew what the job would be before we came here. We decided that we were the right people for the task, so therefore we had faith in ourselves, so we should have faith in us. And we should have faith in the people around us as well, for doing what they are supposed to be doing on the planet. Even the ones that are in the negative aspects, living in fear, they are there to do their learning journey. They have to go through this journey. So no matter what we say, especially for the sleeping ones, and all you want to do is just bash open the door of knowledge and say, listen, just wake up and listen. And they don't listen. It's because they've got to go through their own evolutional cycle. We cannot speed them up. We can't fast track them to enlightenment, it's just not going to work like that. Because they will have more issues if they get fast tracked than they would have if they slowly got through their emotional turmoil. And this is the reason why traumas are on this planet, and they have been for eons, because it's all about learning and growing. And the thing is about feeling and experiencing these feelings, especially the negative ones like grief, anger, depression, frustration, anxiety, worry, doubt. All of these emotions we have to feel fully. We have to feel these emotions fully, absorb them, love them, give them the time and the space to be felt and really accepted as they are, because they need our attention. That is why they exist. Everything needs our attention. That is why it exists. And then once we don't get triggered into the fear, we embrace the fear. We say, okay, I'm afraid of this. Now, let me give it my love and compassion. Let me give my grief love and compassion. Let me forgive myself. Let me give the other person who has given me this grief forgiveness, so that we can all actually move on and upwards in our evolutionary stage. And basically we need to do this together. We need to help each other. We need each other more than we ever have before. And it's coming to a point where it's very relative in our lives, and it's very needed and important to reconnect, to make those connections again, and come back out of our shells, because we have been in hiding for so long now, and it's actually time to just accept who we are for the entirety of us, and to fully integrate into the new transformative person that we are forming into. We are now embodying our new soul aspects, our more aligned soul aspect. We always have been aligned, we just didn't realize it. And so that's why we need to work together in order for this to come right, and dissolve fear, and not push doubt out of our minds, but allow doubt the benefit of the doubt, and then tell it, thank you, I appreciate and love you, but I actually have confidence in myself, thank you. That's it. You just change these negative things to a positive, very slowly, consciously, and with compassion. Oh, this grief in my heart, I have so many tears, I am so sad. Let me look at this grief. Let me forgive the person that gave me this grief. Let me forgive myself. Let me thank myself for feeling this grief. And then suddenly you're in a state of thankfulness and gratitude and forgiveness. And then you've totally forgotten about your grief. It is the way in which we work through these things that will actually get us what we need to get through, if you know what I mean. Yeah, that's it for now. Thank you for watching. And if this is exactly what you needed to hear right now, please let me know, because I am purely working on intuition. I don't even have any cards with me. Like, I only do that twice a month, sometimes more. But yeah, I'm just feeling into the collective, and I've noticed in my life I needed this message to myself. So I decided I needed to spread the love, spread the word, spread the compassion, and help everyone to reach that vibratory level where they can actually forgive and be grateful for every aspect of life that they come into contact with, even the most traumatic ones. Thank you. Namaste. Aho. You are love.